Hey guys, Prangell Gaming here, and welcome to a Millwall analysis video on my channel. And well, this one pains me to say it because it's Tottenham versus Millwall. Yes, the game we lost 6-0 to. Enough said about the result. Let's actually get into what happened in this game. And well, the first talking point, as you may or may not know, would be that Harry Kane got injured in the 8th minute. Now this for me was upsetting, as I really wanted to see how Millwall coped up against Harry Kane, and I think the substitute for him coming off really changed the game, as Eriksen added a different dynamic to the team, and obviously Son was then able to go up front, and well, obviously we know what happened with that. But anyway, what happened here was Harry Kane had his shot, it was saved by Tom King, and then Harry Kane's landed and Cooper's got in, and his ankle was like bent. And that looks really bad, and I'm hearing today, this morning, that Mauricio Pochettino is saying it's similar to an injury that kept him out for quite a long time at the beginning of the season, which is really, really bad to see for the former Lion. I hope he recovers and it isn't too bad for him, because he's a phenomenal striker, and of course he's a great player for England's national side. Now, we may have fault Millwall fans thinking that yes, Harry Kane's off the pitch, this means we can now go on, we can now have more of a chance in the game. Well, this wasn't the case. Actually, it was the exact opposite, as well, Christian Eriksen, the player that came on for him, would get the ball down from Dele Alli, chesting it down to him, and he would hit it on the half volley. Really frustrating, it went straight into the back of the net. I don't think King could have done much about that. It was a pretty good strike. Would Archer have saved it had he been in the back of the net? I don't think Archer would have been able to save it. I really don't. It was a phenomenal strike. Eriksen is a calibre of a player that Millwall just don't compete up against, and he really was a player that changed this game. And one of the players that I'd say was one of the best players in this match. The next chance was then the defensive rock, Victor Wanyama, having his header on the crossbar. What happened was Eriksen crossed the ball in, he's headed it, and we was very lucky that it hit the crossbar, because he is a battering ram of a player, very, very strong. He actually went on the floor on one of the moments of the game, and I was very surprised, because he's that sort of player that Tottenham know they can rely on to not go down, because he's going to be the bulk, he's going to be the strong player that stops them in a lot of instances from having players get in behind. And then star of the show, Heung-Min Son, was able to be the next player to find the back of the net in a far more dominant performance from Tottenham Hotspur, and this wasn't even the half they scored the most goals in, as Millwall got caught on the break, and a bit of a counter-attack went really well, as Dele Alli basically moved it forward from his half of the pitch all the way into Millwall's half. He found Eriksen, then gave it to Son out wide, and well, after a very, very poor touch, firstly by the winger, he then was able to cut inside, and as he cut inside he had his shot. Cooper probably should have got closer to him, but there's no way King's saving that. Honestly, he had no chance, and I can't blame all of them saying that King couldn't have saved them, but quite a lot of the goals in this game were pretty hard for King to save until some of the later ones in the game. But yeah, it was an outstanding strike by Son, who has really taken to playing well for Tottenham this season. I've really liked watching him play, and he's keeping Vincent Janssen in some instances at the team for Tottenham, so he's definitely doing really well. Now into the second half, and well, it started the same way it ended, really, I'm gonna be honest, as Tottenham extended their lead following a fantastic over the top ball by Kieran Trippier. What a ball over the top to Heung-Min Son, who hit it first time on the volley. Absolutely outstanding strike in the 54th minute. It well and truly beat Tom King. I mean, he probably could have done better, but all he could do was stand there and watch the ball just go past him. It was upsetting, obviously, to watch, but when you see goals like that, what can you say, really? They really were an outstanding side, and that goal just proved it. And well, Millwall did have a relatively chance that we could talk about in this game, and well, it's actually nice to talk about Millwall, as that's the side that I'm kind of wanting to be talking about more here. And well, what happened was Fred had the ball out wide, he then found a Millwall player that then gave it back to Fred, he then played it to Jed Wallace, who shot, well, it was pretty poor, and in the end wasn't much, but really from a Millwall fan's point of view, which I am, that wasn't the best of things to look at, and well, it proved that we really just weren't in the game, and we couldn't take the little chances we had when we did have them. And well, then Spurs would go on and make it 4-0 through Dele Alli, who really wanted a goal in this game. You could see he was edging to try and score. And he would finally get one after Christian Eriksen's pass found Ali in a place where he could tap it in. A sweaty goal if you must. Well, it probably wasn't the best of strikes compared to the other ones, but it was a goal nonetheless. And well, he had to beat King still, and he did. His incredible power shot went into the roof of the net. An outstanding strike by Ali. Obviously, that was gutting for us. And then Vincent Janssen would then finally score a goal from open play. This guy has been waiting so long. I believe I read 30 matches without scoring a goal in open play, and he finally did it. So you've got to feel so happy for him there, as maybe this will be his confidence boost that he needs to go on and start scoring goals. Either way, Son had the ball out wide. He beat the defence, cutting inside, and then he just sort of played it straight, flicked it onto Janssen, who accurately put it into the bottom left corner. And personally, I think that King probably could have done a lot better with that, but it was a very accurate shot. And maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh on the goalkeeper that comes up against League One opposition at best, because he's only really played 4 games. And well, the final goal of the game, should I say, was Heung-Min Son's goal, or really it could have been seen as a calamitous time for Tom King. Really summing up his performance. It was just devastating to watch. It really summed the game. And well, the ball was shot by Son. It then went into King's hands. You thought, yes, he's got it. No, he's dropped it through his legs and into the back of the net. So frustrating, but you know what, it is what it is. Son was outstanding, and for that reason, he's got to be my key player for Tottenham. Now, as mentioned earlier, Christian Eriksen really did change the game in my opinion, but Son getting a hat-trick, you can't just forget about that. That's why he's the key player. He got a hat-trick, he defied how the game went really, created chances, and he also got that assist for that Janssen goal. Now, for Millwall, as you could imagine, finding a key player was really hard, and well, it's going to be quite controversial, the player I'm going with. I'm going with Jake Cooper. He had a decent game despite conceding some of the goals, though I would be with some of the Millwall fans and saying he should have been tighter to his attacking players, especially Son when he scored that second goal in the game. So anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this Millwall analysis video. It's quite frustrating to sit here and say 6 goals going in the back of the net, but you know what, Tottenham were outstanding. They were a different class, and I do truly hope that Mauricio Pochettino's men go on and win the FA Cup. They're a side that are really underlooked, and in my opinion, over Chelsea, I think Tottenham are the better side, and that's because of Dele Alli and Harry Kane, 2 English players. I prefer them over Chelsea's squad. I don't like Chelsea's so much. I don't like Diego Costa, and I don't really like Fabregas, the way he kind of just disrespected some of the club like Arsenal that he played for in the past. But either way, that's a personal opinion, and well, I do hope that Tottenham go on and win it. So anyway guys, we do have Bury coming up on Dockers Day next Saturday, so until that time, like, comment, subscribe, and of course I will see you guys then. But until then, goodbye.